Today I'm going to show you how to do a timing belt on a Cosworth. I guess I can remember having conversations with guys before that were doing belts on these years ago, and the amount of people that would have tried them themselves and got the timing marks wrong, because they're kind of sneaky, as you'll see in a second. There's a little mark on the bottom pulley which you think is a timing mark, but it's actually not. But anyway, you'll see as the video goes on. Bit of a short video today because we're just holed up waiting for parts and stuff like that. But yeah, so on with the video. Today I'm going to fit the timing belt, and instead of, quite rightly so, as somebody pointed out in the comment section on the last video, there's not a lot of the work actually getting filmed. There's transformation from one thing into the next, and look, that's a fair thing to say, because I either forget or don't record or whatever. Anyway, today we're going to film the timing, how to do the timing belt on the car. So bring up the timing marks, fitting it, putting the tensioner on, and getting all the alignments right and all that. So here we go. Fitting the new timing belt. So what I want to do with this before I fit the belt is I want to show you guys the timing marks, okay? And I want to show you obviously common well, not so much anymore, but years ago, guys that would be chancing these at home on their own, I used to hear plenty of stories of guys getting the timing marks wrong, because I'll show you now in a second. So the timing marks, well, let's start at the top with the camshaft, okay? So with the camshaft, you can see either side here, you've got an arrow here and an arrow there. And when the rocker cover gasket is actually on there, there's a little tab that sticks out here as an indicator, just to show you where the two marks should be pointing to. Okay, so both marks pointing that way. Okay, so let's move down now to the bottom pulley. So 24 socket on the bottom pulley. These can be, they can be wedged on there depending upon how long ago it was done. And there's a little keyway on there as well. Okay, so vitally important that when you do take off the bottom pulley, that you give it a good clean, and just make sure that that keyway is on there. We also have this little this washer. The keyway comes out. I would probably recommend taking the keyway out, giving it a good clean, and just putting it back in it again, right? Okay, so this washer comes out. Slip your belt in there around the bottom pulley for the crankshaft. Okay, so once that's on there, put your pulley back on. Right, do this one-handedly, okay, and hang on a second. Always people make things always look easy on YouTube, don't they? It's so fucking easy when you've only got one hand. Right, okay, pulley on. Sorry about all the messing. Okay, right. That's not fully home, but for the purpose of what I'm showing you, it doesn't matter anyway, okay? But what I do want to show you is this line in the pulley. And when I was telling you about people making a common mistake, they thought that was the timing mark. And they would line that up with this little lip sticking out here, which is correct. That's the lip that you line it up with. But instead of having it lined up like that, the actual timing mark is you get it to that point, and then you line this one, which is the pickup on the crankshaft sensor, and there's 4 of these, and that's the one you line up with the lip there, okay? So that's the crankshaft lined up. Now, next one is your distributor timing. And what you want to do is, actually, let's have a look at the distributor pulley. So on the distributor pulley, you will see you've got an arrow pointing up. So the arrow is pointing up towards the distributor. Okay, so that's right. That's indication number 1. Take your rotor arm off and take your plastic cap off. And you may be able to see, 1 second now, let me get a zoom in on this. You see this little mark here? Okay, that little cutout. So that cutout on the body of the distributor, that's actually for your timing mark. And what you do, let's go back out again. 1 second. Let's go to here. Okay, so we get our rotor arm, put our rotor arm back on. Okay. And what you want is that mark that's on the distributor body, which is very hard to see now. That mark basically goes directly, get it to line up with directly the middle of the rotor, and they're your marks. Okay, then obviously you put your belt on, and this is your tensioner, and you can bring your tension on here, and once you have the right tension, this is your locking nut on the front here. Lock it up, and then rotate the engine by hand 2 times, 2 full rotations. Bring back your marks, make sure everything's okay, check your tension, make sure your torque settings are all right on everything, and we have that in the Ford manual that we have. So once you've all that done, then you should be good to go. And after another full turn, we're okay there, we're okay here, and again we're okay on the rotor. Tension wise, there's a proper way of, there is a tool for having the tension set on this, but normally rule of thumb is that it's tight enough that you can just twist it side to side. You don't want it too tight, and obviously you don't want it too loose. And now we're going to torque all those with the torque wrench here to the correct settings, and that we know that we are a-okay. So we can put the plastic piece back on the distributor, put that back on, put the cap and leads on, plugs, and so on and so forth. And obviously as well, one thing I didn't mention earlier was we have a new water pump, and we have a new thermostat in there as well. And that is how you do a timing belt on a Sierra Cosworth. Another hurdle, the brake servo and valve block for the ABS on the left hand drive is all one unit, and obviously your brake reservoir sits on top here. As you can see, this is protruding to the left, and is getting caught on the shock turret, and consequently will get caught on the inner wing as well. So on a right hand drive one, you have your brake servo, and you have your ABS pump and so on, and all of that in situ here, but the valve block comes over here and sits on the inner wing on that side. So yet again, just another little twist and turn in the conversion. So we're on the lookout now for a right hand drive setup. Unfortunately, we're at a bit of a standstill, just waiting for parts, waiting for the wiring loom. The right hand drive body wiring loom is on its way, and the rest of the suspension and polyurethane bushes and the clutch and all of that is on its way as well. So we'll take this out of the way, and unfortunately I don't think we can do much more until such time as I don't want to start putting things back and have no wiring loom in place and then things in my way and all of that. And obviously I can't start the engine until such time as I have the clutch to put the gearbox in so I can put the starter on it. So it really is a case of playing the waiting game. So that's it, unfortunately. No more to say to you guys for this week's episode, but only thanks for watching. Sorry there isn't that much content in it, but next week's video, we're actually leaving for Dubai today. So next week's video, you will hopefully see some different cars. A bit of a break from Cosworths for the next week or two, because while I'm waiting for this, I'm due a break anyway. So myself and my son are heading to Dubai. So until the next video, guys, thanks for watching, and talk to you all very soon.